about salt. And salt is sort of like silly putty. Do you remember silly putty? Or something? So, you know, you can break it, but it usually stretches. Dr. Tom's probably talked more about the rock mechanics of salt, but generally it's a plastic, and there can be little fractures all through the salt. Every salt dome is different, just like every person is different. Say again? Would I be able to pick that up with the 3D? If it's within 500 feet of the edge of the salt, it should see it. We're not imaging across the whole salt dome. That would be physically, and when I say physically, I don't mean me, I can't do it. I mean, I'm talking about the physics of it.
What if it's something that y'all see on the outside of the salt dome or inner that could be a possible problem for the future where y'all track it and go further than what y'all just have tomorrow?
Yeah, I cannot speculate on the future of what this 3D will show. When I see the 3D, I will give my opinion, and there are other geophysicists that will give their opinion, and they will try to make sure the proper work is done to make sure that the salt is handled properly.
The areas have been changing, so since your first 3D or whatever you shot the first go around, you should see a change from one end to the other.
Yeah, the question, or the comment is that the salt has been changing. We do know the salt has been changing. We don't know where. That's what the 3D is getting ready to do. When we find out where, we will try to address that.
Kevin, and this may be Bruce as well, one of the questions that came up is what, once it's known what is damaged subsurface, is there any mitigation possibilities to correct that?
I think they're talking about how do you seal the hole. So the question is, can you seal the hole? And Dr. Tom will probably talk about that.
Are you talking about sealing a cavern that has collapsed?
Yes,
You say that the cavern apparently has breached. The fill is rising inside this cavern. This space is now more stable than it was when it was simply an intact drying cavern. If you fill the cavern with solids or semi-solids, it's a lot more stable now than it was before. Also, you can go into this cavern, they have gone into this cavern, they have imaged it with sonar recently, and this part of the cavern has not changed since before the breach occurred. So damage into the salt is very unlikely because the cavern that apparently breached at the bottom was close to the edge of the salt. We know it now. They didn't know it back when they drilled the well. But that space is now more stable than it was before. The sink has been filled. Now, the plug is continuing to rise inside the cavern and continue to make the sink more active. Once that space fills completely, the big fill will be over.
Wouldn't you think the solid would be heavier than the brine water in it?
Yes, sir, I do.
And it wouldn't push the sides out?
No, because it's been forced up by what's outside the dome now. A cavern is unstable because the brine inside is less heavy than materials outside. Materials outside tend to cave the cavern in. This has happened. Now the fill is raising, and that cavern is a lot more stable than it was before.
What made it do that?
Well, that's a question that's still up. It appears that the cavern was very close to the edge of the salt, and it breached. That is, it caved in. Once it did, the pressure in the soil outside the bottom of the cavern was around 5,000 psi, 5,400 psi. 1 psi per foot of depth. The pressure inside the cavern was probably 1/2 that, 2,500. You had a big pressure coming in from the outside that collapses then not pushing it up inside the cavern.
Well, I don't know, it was damaged with the crack. The rest of it's not damaged, it's still solid, no problem with it.
No problem in from the existing cavern. Again, that void is now filled with solid. It's filling with solid, or semi-solid. It's better off now than it was before.
But, yeah, I understand it, it's solid, but that's way heavier than dry water.
Yes, sir, it
And it's
is.
running out of pressure out of it.
I would bet that
Material outside.
if other people are interested in hearing about the science of this, I mean, it's really awesome stuff that's being done.
Oh, I understand that.
And Dr. Toms would be happy to talk to you about that. I recognize, though, it's getting to be about 10 to 8, and Bruce, do you need to say anything? And also,
Can't go get that either.
Can
We-
I ask just one thing?
in just a second, we have, Jim is going out to get his laptop and a printer for anybody that wants to take the permit with him, or if anybody is really interested in signing tonight, that'd be fine, or if we could set up an appointment where we could meet with you in the next 2 or 3 days, that would be great. And there's a question in the front.
My question's altogether different what y'all been talking about. I'm not absolutely sure till Friday, but it looks like my insurance is not going to insure me because I'm vacated the home. So what do I do?
I tell you what, why don't you talk to Will?
Okay. Okay.
Remember, Will is come on, Will in the back there.
The question was, and then I know somebody else brought that to my attention in my office, and I saw him here earlier, that due to the fact that she's vacated her home, her insurance company has notified her that they no longer want to insure her because she's vacated the home. And I can tell you that I know that individual, we forwarded that decline notice to the Commissioner of Insurance. From our perspective, I can't answer what Texas Line or what that gentleman can help with, but I know that we have addressed that, and I know his agent forwarded emails to me that they were getting their agencies in Baton Rouge to start trying to communicate with the Commissioner of Insurance regarding that, because that obviously is a problem. That gentleman had it, and if you've had it, other people have had it, because once you're out of the home for quite a certain amount of time, they're claiming that, it's a vacated home and they want to drop coverage.
So we're on grace period of 30 days.
30 days. So it is happening, and I've seen it with other persons that brought it to my attention. We have brought it to the Commissioner of Insurance's attention. I know this gentleman's agent forwarded emails to me, called and copied me, but they were forwarding to their Baton Rouge agencies or whatever else, and trying to definite letters to communication with the Commissioner of Insurance. And that's something we can ask. I know our state judge, state of delegation, Mr. Rick Ward and Karen Sandbeck, can hopefully intercede at the state level with the commissioner, because that can definitely become a problem very quickly.
Well, you see, that's one concern, why we might not want people coming onto our yard. I have no insurance.
You mind? Let me address that.
If anybody is worried about insurance, the seismic crew covers, they have insurance. Texas Brine has insurance. For us going on your property, it's not your responsibility. So, I mean, if you want to know how much, can you tell me?
No, I can't tell you, I'd like to have Dr. Bob.
No, can you,
There's actually this gentleman here.
Tracy?
It's a $1 million with a $10 million umbrella, it's indemnification.
So you're saying, you'll agree in agreement to hold anybody harmless from any somebody getting hurt on their property, any of your people, agents on their property?
Texas Brine has a copy of our insurance policy, and it also, our workers' comp, everything. If someone falls on your property, they're not gonna sue you. We're indemnified.
You have a question for Mr. Hill? Mr. Bob.
Dr. Bob.
Dr. Bob, question.
I was just wondering if you had family living in that area, if you will let them stay there. If you would feel safe in having your family living there.
I would want to know what the gas was doing underneath.
If your kids or grandkids lived in my home, would you have them move?
Knowing what I know now,
Yes,
I
sir.
think not.
No?
No.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? For the last couple of round of questions, yes, sir.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Has anybody
somebody in the parish dealing with the non-compliance or compliance issues with this permit and holding Texas Brine accountable for non-compliance issues?
Non-compliance issues in regards to what?
The evacuation situation.
No, that, the parish has ordered the evacuation. We are not dealing with the compliance issues as it relates to their regulatory responsibilities with the Department of Conservation. The orders and compliance orders issued by Texas Brine, to Texas Brine regarding this 3D seismic, regarding vent wells and those types of things, all are coming through the regulatory agency, the Commission of Conservation.
Okay, so if I have an issue with non-compliance dealing with the evacuation situation, who do I need to speak to?
Well, if you're welcome to bring it to our attention, or John's attention, and we will relay it to them. If there's other non-compliance issues with regards to anything that you're aware of, if you bring it to our attention, we'll forward it to the Commission of Conservation, the Governor's Office of Homeland Security. Depending on what the non-compliance issue is, you can get it to us, and we'll definitely refer it to the right agency. So most of the regulatory responsibilities or compliance orders are coming through the Department of Conservation. Any other questions?
Marty, last one
Yes.
from me. We talking a lot about Texas Brine, but following this line of thought right here, back on September, I believe the 14th, directive was set out to Dow, Arcadian, Crosstech, all of those people to check see if they had gas on their property underneath in the aquifer and vent. Are they venting right now? Are they helping these guys
I
put
think,
more wells so we can get this gas out of here?
We continue to meet with them. They did, in accordance to their order, they did go in and survey their properties. And the only location that they have found free gas in the aquifer is on the western side of the dome.
Do we believe that?
I'm not the scientist, they provided,
Who checks this? I mean, these guys,
they have sent all the reports, the PDK logs, to the Office of Conservation.
this man right here was mad. He's only been here one night. I detected some anger in his voice. We've been here a lot of times, and we're angry. A lot of us are mad and fed up with it, and it's nothing to you, okay? And it's more with the state agencies and with a little bit with Texas Brine, but the DNR and DEQ has fed us a line of bull from the beginning, and we needed them to we are man enough and woman enough to accept the truth. Please tell us the truth. And when you bring back your data, could you please get with the state officials first, instead of the Texas Brine, just to keep it above board. We understand your honesty and your integrity. Just keep it above board, okay? This lady right here, first time she was here tonight, she's come with this gentleman. She got mad. She got mad at us. We're mad because we've been at these meetings, what, 15 times? Nothing, it's just 6 freaking months. And excuse my French, nothing's been done.
Mike, you made good points. And yeah, and you all are new experts and new consultants brought to this deal, but we've been dealing with this for quite some time, and I reiterate Mike's sentiments. And you referred to it on several occasions, and you understand the frustration that we now getting a time frame. You said you were brought in there a month ago, and that you can have seismic done as early as April in several months. We've been having this problem since August.
I can address that.
Well, you can address it, but you kept saying that it was because only under order from the state. Our feeling is that, and we've expressed this feeling of that it shouldn't have required a state order for Texas Brine to go ahead and try to become very aggressive in getting this 3D seismic. And had they been an aggressive since August 3rd, 2011, we may have the 3D seismic, and you may be sitting here interpreting the data and telling the people exactly what's wrong with it. So